Hey,
Hello,
girl.
our little
Hey,
chaosers. We're
y'all.
gonna have to find a name for our fan, no, they're not fans, our followers. What
Yeah,
do we
we do.
call them?
I
Our
don't
little
know.
chaosers.
Hey, y'all.
We're back, week
We're back.
two.
Week two.
That's an accomplishment. Week two is an accomplishment.
Yeah, yeah, for
Yup,
sure.
yup.
Oh my God, we're here.
Mm-hmm. We
We're
have a
here.
good episode plan. We have an outline this time. The first
We're not
episode
just gonna be yapping.
we wanted y'all to see our chaos the first episode, but
Yeah,
now we reeled it in a little bit. Now you just get a tad bit of the
they
chaos.
get a tad. They
A
get a
little.
tad. I don't know that it'll be a little though. I feel like this
Yeah,
episode is gonna be
we're
good.
chaotic in
So
general.
yeah. Oh my God. Hey guys, and welcome to a bit of chaos.
With Mel.
Andy, we're so happy
Yeah.
that you're here. Thanks for joining us again. As
Yes.
always, please make sure you subscribe. We drop weekly, so we'll always have something new for you.
Yeah. We got to figure out what day of the week we want to drop. But yes,
Got the club going up.
going up.
Hey, on a Tuesday.
Tuesday might be a good day.
Tuesday will be a good drop.
Okay.
Okay. Tuesday it is, honey.
Mhm.
Okay, honey. Okay,
Okay. Everyone calm
guys.
down.
Guys. Y'all, this episode is all about healing today. It's
Yes.
about healing. Such a sensitive topic, but such a needed topic,
Hmm.
right? Like, I'm excited. I'm
Me too.
excited. All
Yeah.
right. What's the top pick of the week? Is it that boy from DC? I'm just kidding. Okay, just kidding, guys.
No, we're doing our top two of the week now.
Yes. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
sure,
yes.
sure. Do it
So
again.
to get in our show, we decided we want to do like a top maybe three, but today I think we only have two. I don't know how many he
Yes.
has. I have two for today. But this is what I was hyper fixated on for the week.
Okay.
Coming in at number one
Number one.
was White Peach Red Bull.
Okay.
I I was addicted. I'm sorry. The grapefruit one I actually really enjoyed, but it's gone because I guess that was the spring edition. It's gone. But and I know Red Bull probably isn't the best for you. I know, but that white peach Red Bull. And coming in at number two, Shabuzi's deluxe album.
Yes, girl, that was gonna be mine because I was getting ready to talk about
Really,
Chrome.
Chrome,
Chrome.
and I
Yeah.
specifically had Chrome in there. Just like that's been the
Yes.
song. He
Yes.
did his big one.
Y'all, I'm in love with Shabuzi. Shabuzi, if you ever see this,
Shabuzi.
I love
We're
you.
trying to go see him in Virginia Beach in September.
Shabuzi, by the way, where you grew up from, we don't live that far from you. Like,
Oh yeah, Woodbridge. I'm actually really not that far.
yes, I'm in love with Shabuzi.
We're not going to dox
Shabuzi,
ourselves.
we love you. We plan on coming to your concert. We got our cootie cutters and our cowgirl boots ready. See you there.
I like to see Nee with some booty shorts on because I don't think she would wear it. Legs out, legs out, crop top.
Yes, that was actually one of my top
Really?
picks.
Look at us thinking
Yes.
away.
Yes. All right.
Shabuzi, and we need your vinyl.
Wait, I was about to say that. Shabuzi, you had me stressed, okay? Because I went to your website trying to order the
I wasn't
complete, what was
stressed.
it, complete edition?
Yeah, I'll be calling
And
it deluxe, but
yeah, Mel said deluxe is complete edition. I'm like, oh, we can order it now. And then it said it wouldn't ship till August 1st.
I was like, Nee, he just released it Friday. I know, and she was like, Target got
Shabuzi.
it, and then I'm like, girl, you ready to go Target? But and then I'm like, girl, I know Target do not have that album
They got the
already.
other one or whatever.
Yeah,
But it's all good. I can wait till August 1st. I did pre-order it, so.
yeah. But Chrome did
Yeah.
that big one. I like a lot of them now.
Shabuzi, can you clear that for us so that can be like our intro song, like just the instrumental? We would love that.
Thanks,
Respectfully.
thanks, Booze.
Respectfully, your number one fans.
Thanks, friend of the show. You're amazing.
Yes.
But what's your top three or however many you had? Two
Well,
per week.
though my one was Chrome. I just been bumping Shabuzi lately. I don't know. Shabuzi get me in my feels. I ain't gonna lie. I cried a little bit this morning. I was listening to his music
I be listening to Highway.
because I was listening to Blink twice this morning.
Highway is that girl too. I don't
It
know.
is
Highway.
the whole album. Let's be real.
This
The
is
whole
true.
that is an album that you can put on and like there are no skips. Like
Hmm.
I
Did
love
that big one.
him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks, Booze, for
Okay, yeah,
it's
yeah,
me
yeah. See,
abbreviating
this
his
is a
name.
bonding
Thanks,
moment. We
Booze.
locked in. We locked in. But no, the second one for me was "How to Be the Love You Seek" by Dr. Nicole LaPera, and she's a holistic psychologist. And it just basically was about like love and like how our trauma shapes like our connections. It was such a good read, but also not only about that, but also how to undo the damage, right? Undo the trauma and basically just like changing the way we love and how to find the love that we seek and
Yes.
how to also be the love that we want.
Okay, okay. That's a good segue into our episode, I
It
feel like.
is. It's a good
Yes.
pivot.
Pivot.
Yeah.
Girl.
All right. Oh, yes, this episode is all about healing today. I guess we could start off by talking about like what got us here. What got us here to the point we felt like we need to heal, you know?
uh well, as I mentioned in the first episode, just for real getting out the Navy and being on my own was just like a oh my gosh, this is happening type moment. And as well, to bring this up, I had never smoked weed before, you guys. And
Bum bum
so
bum
I
bum.
I had smoked and I don't know, it was like triggering something in my brain with healing. It was like I actually smoked with my sister
Hey,
and that
Quee.
and that's what catapulted stuff. It was like my childhood flashed before my eyes. I don't know, it was the weirdest thing ever. And I had smoked before that, like with friends, and nothing like that had ever happened. But when I was with my sister, it was the craziest thing. And I don't want to condone like smoking or anything, because I feel like it is a time and place for it, or how you deal with it, because like some people depend on it, but ain't nothing wrong with it. I know a lot of people, it's negative for a lot of people, but for me it was very helpful in a healing, the start of my healing journey, to make me even realize I had trauma, because I was one of them people that walked around and was like, I don't got no trauma. I actually remember I got on Twitter one time and it was like, y'all going around talking about your mom yelling didn't make trauma for you or doesn't affect you or whatever. And I'm like, my mom used to yell. Y'all, my mom doesn't even know how to talk. She only yells. And I know it come from a good place. So in my head, it was
Oh
just,
gosh.
shout out to Tara.
Hey,
It was
Tara.
just how I grew up. Like she yelled all the time. And then it was like a reflection point of like, I think that made me so nervous and anxious, like knowing like if I didn't do something, like yelling was going to occur, like you were going to get yelled at. It was just the way of life and just little things like that. So I would say that's how my healing journey started, or even making me realize I had trauma to deal with.
Yeah. I don't remember that tweet. Was I on Twitter at that time?
Probably not. You got off Twitter early. I was on still on Twitter like up until maybe
X, by the way. Y'all know how they
this
changed the
Twitter.
name. Yes.
Tweet, tweet. Because
Yes.
F Elon.
Oh, we getting censored. Hey guys, if this is your first episode, we are chaotic. If you're just now jumping in, we chaotic and unapologetic.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Hey. No, I can understand too. Like even just what you were saying about like how the yelling and stuff like made you anxious and like it's almost like walking on eggshells because I know my mom used to yell a lot too, and I'm like, what am I gonna expect when she gets home? Like, is she gonna be in a good mood or is she gonna be in a bad mood? That hot and cold or whatever,
Mhm.
which definitely for me created like a very anxious child. Like, and I was always trying to read the room of the other people. Like, even to this day as an adult, I like I call it a temperature check. I just want to make sure they're not mad at me, right? I just want to make sure that they're not gonna like go off on me at any given moment or leave me because God only knows. But yeah, isn't it crazy how one little thing just shapes your whole childhood? Just it is insane.
And you saying like how you used to read the room. I don't know if you remember when the movie Perks of Being a Wallflower came out.
No, I don't. I never even heard of it.
It had Emma Watson, Hermione from Harry Potter in it, but oh my goodness, it was such like an instrumental like part of growing up. It came out when I was young. I would have to look up what year it was released, but I was still like in school. But I just remember relating so much to him, like being a fly on the wall or whatever, and then like meeting friends and kind of coming out his shell, but like still just reading the room of situations and stuff. It was big on that. You should watch it, honestly.
What is it called again? The Perks of Being a
A
Wallflower.
wallflower,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll look it up.
You really should. But it you saying that just kind of triggered a memory that I was like, ah, yeah. Cuz I am the queen of observing, and I know that's like just from I was a very quiet child growing up, like I didn't talk. I go back home now and see kids from high school, and now I don't want to say normal, but now I just talk like it's normal to just be yapping away. And they're like, people have said like, "You're talking, keep talking. We never really hear your voice because if my best friend was not at school, shout out to Destiny,
Hey,
back
Destiny.
in high school, I was not talking. I probably wouldn't say a word for the day." And yeah, and I think it's just part of growing up and not knowing you had some type of trauma. Like I really didn't know how anxious I was. I didn't have a name for being anxious
Yeah.
until recently. Like I was like, oh,
No, because I feel like when we would talk about, like, I don't know about you, as far as your upbringing, but like when I'd be like, oh, I feel like sad, or I feel like depressed, or I'm about to cry, I'd be like, you trying to keep up with the Jones? Like, you need to sit down somewhere. Like, that's just like immediate rage for even just acknowledging that, like, oh, something feels like it's wrong with me. You know what I mean? Like, so you keep it hidden for so
yeah,
long. I know, like, even what you were saying when you were like, you were very observant. Me too. Like, I really wanted to be like, oh my God, I want to be in their brain. Do they like me? Do they not like me? Like, am I annoying them? But I feel like as an adult, because I'm so observant, it scares people. They don't want me to know how they're feeling, or they want me to think that everything is okay, right? That nothing's wrong with them. And so, just going back to that and how observant we are, I feel like we can read people very well. Sometimes, though, I'd be like, I don't want to believe that about them. I'm going to give them another chance. Ah! But on the
thing
hindsight of
about
things,
me.
like, you can really like truly read discernment. It's
Hmm.
discernment, and it's really a gift, and a gift from the Lord, like for
Yeah,
real.
because I I honestly feel like I have been so good at picking out my friends and like they got the chaos with them too, but I really have some solid friendships that I'm just like, I know I'm good at reading people because I will shut some stuff down. Like I just know.
Yeah.
But I was going to say something to, oh, like also going back to how you said your mom shut you down. I genuinely didn't know because my mom, we talked about this too, like how you got stuff you wanted. My mom always made a way. Like I don't remember ever wanting anything, and I knew we weren't rich, but I also never wanted anything. I did not have to wait until Christmas to get something I really wanted. Like that went away from me very early on. So I thought I was just living a fantastic life. Like hence to why I was like, it can't be anything wrong with me. And then I also hear like my mom's amazing. Like I tell people about my mom, like if I call my mom now and be like, "Oh my goodness, I really need this," even if she can't drive it to me, she'll mail it. Like she she just does stuff. She go above and beyond. And now it's funny being older and seeing her do it for her grandkids as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, to wrap that up, to say my mom was like superwoman, and even though she yelled all the time, it really was her love language in a way, and I just was used to it. But I really didn't know stuff was bad because she made things happen. So it was like I can't have a bad life because there are people who mom and dad are on drugs heavy and in the streets, and they don't even know when their next meal is coming. My mom came home and cooked a full meal when she got off from work. How she did it, don't know. Cause me
Hello.
today, not doing it. But yes, I felt like I couldn't have trauma at a certain point too. So
In our area too, I feel like everybody just kind of deals, and like nobody actually processes anything. Like if there's something wrong, we just kind of keep going. Like nobody stops to check in with themselves or anything. Like there, what do you mean mental health? What do you mean something's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like we're not going to talk about it. You're going to suppress it and keep it to yourselves, especially in this area. And it really annoys me. Guys, in the area that we come from, there are no therapists. There's very limited resources for mental health. Like, I'm not even going to say limited, it's non existent. There is no resources here. And so I feel like everybody here is just like living with trauma and just
yeah,
going through the
and
day.
don't know how to cope with it.
Nope.
Cause I do,
Drinking,
yeah,
substance is like our coping mechanism here.
yeah. Cause trauma is going to be never ending. Soon as you think you got over something,
You
comes
trigger.
something else comes.
Let me tell you something. Triggers, you can't run from your triggers.
Oh, also something I do always think is interesting for you as well. It kind of is going backtrack to your parents. Nee is very quick to cut off family members
Oh, I
versus
don't give a
anyone
damn.
else. Like Nee will give other people like hella chances, but when like I feel like Nee, you're really not talking to them again, or people that she was really really close with, and like she'll be like no, and she'll block them on everything, and like never hear from her again. And I am like, how do you do that?
Because they are family. Like you
Hmm.
are blood to me. So I feel like you are the last person that should be walking God's green earth and treating me this way. I
Understand?
I have to be very selective with what I say because I don't want to end back up, down the road. But
Yeah.
like I have a family member that was really close to me that assaulted me. I will never speak to her again. I don't give a damn if something happened. I will never speak to her again. And I stand on business behind that. Because it's like what makes you feel like I am such a target that you need to do something to like hurt me or hurt people around me that I love? Like, if anything, you should love me. I am literally your blood. So I don't give second chances and stuff like that to family. I also feel like now as I get older, the people closest to you family wise are like the biggest snakes. I don't there is no fine line. Like I used to be like, "Oh, family would never hurt you," but no, they will. They will. And some family members can be really jealous of like your progress or where you are in life. You know what I mean? Like especially if they're stuck in the quicksand of their life and they can't
Hello.
get ahead in life, they will do everything in their power to try and make your life miserable. Misery loves company. My mom didn't teach me anything. She taught me that misery loves company. That's so real. Like just looking at like the person who assaulted me, there's a lot of trauma there, but there's a lot of misery there. You want to make my life as miserable as yours, but I'm not gonna let you. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I don't. I'm not giving no second chance to no family. I don't.
Yeah.
No,
Nee family cut off again is
I feel like I don't
wrong.
have a village. Like my village is
Yeah.
very minimal. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
like I I crave and I desire like the creation of a family.
Do you want to talk? Do you have any coping mechanisms that you have learned that have helped you through this?
So I am in therapy full time. Shout out to my therapist. She's amazing. So far I have really been getting in tune with my five senses. I learned so one thing that my therapist has been talking to me about is whenever we relive or whenever we think about a traumatic event, we tap into our five senses and we go back into that moment. So, anyways, I have been using my five senses to like calm myself and to cope. So, for example, if I start feeling very anxious, I'll pop a warhead in that activates my taste, right? It's sour, it kind of triggers my brain to think about that. Or maybe I'll go in my room and like go get my Fenty Beauty and smell it. It'll help rewire my brain to not like think about a traumatic incident so much. On the other side of things, um, I'll journal a lot. I've been putting on my records and journaling or putting on some instrumental music. Journaling has really helped me, but sometimes it's hard to journal. Sometimes it's really hard to journal. And so I'll do something called scribble writing. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, when you just like empty your brain.
Girl,
Mhm.
talking out loud like a
Yeah.
crazy person. Sometimes kids come in my room. She's like, "Mommy, what are you doing?"
Girl, not getting
Girl,
scared.
scribble writing. So that's been some things I've been doing, and as always, prayer. And I want to talk more about that in a little bit too.
Yeah.
Sorry, my chapstick got like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yapping.
Yeah, I really am. Like my chapstick has
Yeah.
gotten.
Because it's a heavy topic. Like it's an important topic too. But I will say, flashback to another thing I feel like growing up, like being around older black women, they don't know what rest is.
They don't.
None of them. They're like busy, busy. And I tell my mom all the time, like, rest. I will dedicate a day to sitting on this couch and putting movies on the television and not doing a thing. It's important for to rest.
It is.
Okay?
I didn't
Important.
used to know what rest was either. I used to be on the
I
go,
know.
but I essentially was running from something. So like
Yes.
I couldn't rest. And
Yes.
honestly, when I moved into my place by myself,
Mm-hmm.
I could not rest because my brain and my body was so used to being in fight or flight mode.
Mm-hmm.
But when that functional freeze came and my body shut down, I did nothing. And I felt horrible because I did nothing. Like
It's true, y'all. I used to really be like, "Nee, please, please, just sit on the couch and watch TV." She's like, "I don't want to watch TV."
And I don't watch TV. Like
Yeah,
it is very hard
girl,
for me to
but
sit and watch TV.
I
It's
couldn't
hard for me
believe
to
it.
sit and do. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry guys, I burped on camera. It's hard for me to sit and do anything. Like, um, and I don't know why. Now I rest though. Like I'll sit down. Y'all know I told y'all on that episode, my couch is okay. Yo, that that I'm trying to tell you, watching my couch get put together brought me so much joy. Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this is
Uh-huh.
mine, and I didn't need a to help me get it. Like it is mine, my money. Yeah, I love it. I'm happy. But anyways, yeah, no, I just really didn't know how to rest. It was hard. I don't know. It's just hustle culture. I think that's just been instilled in us as Black people. Just honestly having to work harder than our fellow colleagues and peers, and we don't get the step stool. We start at the bottom, so
I
it's just
agree.
been ingrained in us, I guess.
Also, just like going back into my like probably last 2 years when I was still active duty in the military, like I probably was so depressed and genuinely didn't know. Like it was
Yeah.
hard for me to function. Like I did not
Mel
want to
was
go to
mean
work.
too, y'all.
I was
Y'all,
angry.
I will never forget.
What?
I was at the Tesla store because I was going to buy a Tesla. I don't know if you remember this story. This story is wild. I was at the Tesla store and I was going to buy that Tesla. Remember, I was trying to get rid of my black car that was giving me so many problems. And the girl, it was like during COVID time, everything was high, people weren't working. And the girl there was like, I brought a Subaru or something. And she was like, I wish I would have brought a Tesla because like now I couldn't afford it. I was like, oh my God, I felt so bad for her. Like she didn't know she was going to be laid off. Mel was on her phone. I was like, oh, well, niece, she'll be all right. Anybody care? I was like, but she
Girl,
didn't know she was going to be laid off. Like,
that was a okay, that is probably my number one growth thing
yeah,
too. Is like being what is it?
empathy,
Sympath-
empathetic.
empathetic. Empathetic. Empathy level was at a negative 10.
And I have too much empathy. That's why I give so many chances.
You guys, I was I was actually mean probably. Like I genuinely like people be going through stuff. I'm like me now, I'm like, damn, everyone has a fucked up story and have a fucked up life in some way.
But
And I'm like,
I feel like this is why, right? Your mom is so caring and she would bend over backwards for you. So you're used to that. My mom was harsh.
yeah.
And so I'm like, I need to like treat people differently than how like
Hmm.
I'm treated. I need to have somebody that like I want to make people feel like I care. My mom
Hmm.
did not give a damn. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I feel like
I
you
said that
were
too.
raised differently. It's like we
Yeah.
did the polar opposites of each
I
other.
couldn't wrap my head around like people not like being raised like me. I was under the assumption everyone was raised like me. I don't know if you remember when I was telling you like I felt like my mom made sure we were presented well because we were around so many white kids growing up, make sure my hair was done. And you was like, my mom ain't make sure my hair was done. And I said, what? Like I could not put myself in other people's shoes, I would say. Like I could not.
Yeah. It's
But
very different. People grow up very differently.
yeah, and I
And I
didn't
do
realize.
feel like people also like you will look at somebody's life and be like, "Oh my God, they had the perfect life." But then you hear their story and you're like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, they had a rough life or a rough
Hmm.
upbringing." I feel like that's so easy to do. I know I've looked at people and be like, "Man, they had the perfect picture." And then they start talking, I'm like, "Oh, you grew up just like me. Like we from the same struggle."
Not even to keep bringing up her podcast, but well, now it's called She's So Lucky. Oh, I can't remember the lady, but she wrote a book. I forgot what it's called. It was the last episode. And she talked so well. She graduated from college, wrote a book, and she was like, both her parents were on drugs heavy, but people are like, we thought you grew up rich. And listening to the podcast, because she doesn't even say that to the end, and I'm not going to hold you. I assume she grew up rich. I'm not even kidding. And she was like, she grew up in Detroit. Both her parents, drugs. Couldn't wrap my head around. I'm like, oh my gosh, you really never know where people come from.
I need to listen to that episode.
Yes, it's the last one.
I gotta
I'm
listen
mad I
to
can't remember her name, but we'll link the description.
it. Hey Les.
Yeah, we love your podcast clearly,
Yeah.
but yes, and so that just reminded me of that. I forgot where I was going with the military thing, like how it was so Depressed. Oh, like even I felt like I couldn't even take in San Diego. That's where I was stationed last, and like I related with being negative, and that's solely on me. I'm like I'm more in touch with nature now too. I'm like I probably would enjoy San Diego more because I'm like nothing's here. Y'all want me to hike every day? What? And which I still don't think anything is really in San Diego. Like y'all don't even got like a sports team here. I'll charge an arm and a leg to live there. But anyway, I yeah, I'm like I don't think I even took in the beauty of the place I was in because I was so like in a negative headspace, like very negative, and didn't know.
Yeah. I feel that way about like our hometown. Like I very vividly remember telling one of my friends from church, she was like, maybe the Lord doesn't see fit for you to leave just yet. Make it your altar. Like appreciate where you are now. And I'm like, but I can't. Like I hate this place. I can't appreciate it. And it wasn't until like I started making my house a home and it was like, oh, I actually really like it. But it is hard to appreciate something when you don't know its value or its worth. Like I can understand that because even when I came to San Diego, I'm like, well, I don't like this place. But then I'm like, I talked to other people, like one of my students' moms, they
They
were
love
in
it.
San Diego. Yeah, she's like, I loved it there. It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe I didn't know its worth. I didn't appreciate it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, I don't know that my hometown's worth. I don't appreciate this place. But then you got people who are coming here. It's like, we love this place. We come here every year. And I'm like, okay, show me what you see because I don't see it, you
Yes.
know?
And I also will say romanticizing little things in my life has become a big thing. Remember when you called me and I was happy because I on Wednesday, that has been my thing on Wednesdays to start celebrating making it to hump day and not waiting until Friday to like cuz I'm telling you Friday I live for Friday to make it to Friday, the work week over. And now I'm like Wednesday needs to be a target goal. Like, oh, it's hump day. I'm halfway throughout the week. But Nee called me one day. I was leaving Kava. I'm happy on the phone.
Leaving Kava.
I was ecstatic. And she called me, girl, she dealing with them kids at that school. I'm like, girl.
It's the end of the year, y'all are right.
But yes, it was a good thing. But yes, romanticizing my life, like little things is very important. Like just waking up, meal prepping has been a like turn on a vinyl record.
Some weird number is
My number?
no, a weird
Oh.
number's calling me.
Oh, I thought you said my number. I'm like, girl, my phone right here.
I'm gonna say who this, but then I'm gonna also say
New phone.
no.
Who this? Huh?
Anyway, back to our conversation. Um,
Oh, oh, you don't make it ring, ring, ring. Okay, wrap it up. How I can't remember Cardi verse. Ah, I would have spit that.
should I call first? I can't decide. I want to, but I got pride. I've been singing that song for real
Cardi, is
lately.
that you? We got
It's
Cardi at home.
Cardi.
We got
Should I call
Barty.
first? I can't decide. I want to, but I got pride.
And that's on Invasion of Privacy. Shout
Hello.
out to Cardi. Cardi B. I used to play
Thank
that
you, thank
album.
you, thank you. Cardi
Play
at home
that
for real.
album
Oh no,
down.
that I added that to my playlist recently.
When
I've
I
been
used to
bumping that.
play Bickenhead, and now she
Okay.
she a little rough. The lyrics, but I used to that was me and Green's song. Guam life. Okay, we got off topic. See what's going on? But yes, romanticizing your life is a very important thing because stuff can get very mundane really quickly, and it's important to like keep it nice. Keep you can get in a routine that's like when you work every day at a job you don't care to work, which is a lot
Yeah.
of us. It's important to romanticize your life.
Millennials don't like working. And it's not that we don't like working. I think that we don't like working under these
Pointless.
conditions. Yeah, like
40 hours.
a week.
I keep telling everyone I need to have a 5-hour work day or a 4-day work week.
I am all for a 4-day work week.
But the coming home every day, and it's like, and mind y'all, I'm a full time student as well.
Yes.
I can't keep living like this. Like, I just am over coming home. You only got a few hours. Then you got to get in the shower, get in bed. It's like you got 1 to 2 hours max to yourself to even do anything, and it's a wrap.
It is.
This isn't life. Then you only get 2 days out of the weekend. What are we saying? Why do we think this is okay? Over it.
So real.
Get me started on Reagan.
What is going on?
Okay, well, this is our healing. We'll another episode. We're going to talk about the state of the world. Okay, we're gonna go back to when this started. Okay, but yes, I do think talking about mental health, and that's another thing too. A lot of people don't talk about it, so you also didn't know
Sammy. Sorry.
what was going on. You didn't know what you were feeling was a normal feeling
Yeah.
because no one talked about how they felt. So I will say that's another thing to add to the equation. I will say TikTok actually was very amazing with seeing other people's lives. Like, as much as it can be bad to keep taking in everyone's personalities and their lifestyles and feeling like you're not where you need to be, because social media can get you to that point. But it was also very refreshing to realize, like, oh, you can live like this. You can be open about how you feel mentally that day. You can be open and say, my anxiety is high right now and it's not weird. If I go home with my family members and say my anxiety is acting up, it's high right now, they're going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, okay. They not even going, it's nothing to them. But sometimes, like, social media really can help and be positive.
I agree. I think that it's how you consume it truly, like
Yes.
how much you consume and what you're
Yes.
consuming. I feel like there has to be some type of boundary with social
Yes.
media.
Flag on the play.
Let me give it a secky wecky.
99. Taking over.
99%.
Okay, it's back now. She back.
All right, I'm back. But yeah, I think it's like what you consume and how much you consume. I really try to limit my like social media consumption. Um, at one point I was doom scrolling bad. And
Hmm.
like especially when I started like feeling the shift in like my relationship, I would be like just doom scrolling. And it was like, oh, everything was so tied to my relationship. It was almost like my algorithm knew, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like trying to relate all the things in my timeline to like my current relationship, in which in all actuality it was spot on. Like, but yeah, I think you just have to be cautious.
I will also say another thing that helped too was Instagram. I unfollowed like all the little Instagram baddies and
Instagram is
whatnot.
such a monitoring spirit.
Yeah. And like living this lifestyle that they really aren't. It's not a typical lifestyle. Like, I want to follow people that's working a 9 to 5 and like they can say, I ain't got the money for this month, and gotta plan stuff out if they want to take a vacation, and not act like they can just get up and go at
Yeah.
any time of the day because they got it like that. Like, sometimes influencers, like, as nice as it is to see how it's a nice goalpost to be like, oh, I would like to get there at some point. But if that's all you're following and you see it all day, it makes you feel a certain type of way that your life isn't there.
I feel like Instagram is so fake too. Even like people that I know in real life, like hoard a bunch of pictures and then post it all at once to make it look like their life is great, but really you only went out like once within that 6 month time period.
Yes. Because, first of all, who's still going out every single weekend? I'm tired. I'm 31. Why
Or
are
like
you
posting for like the
validation?
attention. Yes, like that validation piece annoys me so bad. And it's like I know why you post that way because I was once that girl. Even this
Hmm.
go for men too, because there's a lot of men out there that need their ego stroked. They want multiple women be like, "You look
Yeah.
good, cute, hard eyes" in the DMs, like. And I don't know. I've outgrown that phase in my life. Like I can
Yeah.
very vividly remember being like, "Oh, I need to post on here today because I want him to like
Yes,
swipe up
ma'am.
on me." You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
thank God for healing. Thank God for growth that
Yes.
I'm not that girl anymore. Especially like even fresh out of my breakup, like I just was like, I don't want to be on social media. I don't want to post on social media. I don't want nobody to see me. I don't want them to know where I'm at. Like the old me would have been on their thirst trap and unzipping the hoodie, all the angles. I can't. I just like I can't go back to being that girl. And I guess that's when healing starts, right? Like that's when I start to realize like, oh no, you need to change. Like this
Yeah.
needs to be different. You need to
Yeah.
figure out what's wrong inside, your insecurities, and go from there.
Yes, because that's when attracting the wrong men. Because
Hello.
I'm like, I
Hello.
gotta figure out.
Let's not forget when they love to see what you post so they can slide in your DMs and act like they do something. Yeah, I gotta tell a story.
Okay, story
Story
time.
time. So when I was on social media heavy, I used to always post like my books because I like to read. So I would like sit on my front porch, rocking my chairs, and post my books and things. And so, somebody else that I guess was like hinting at that they liked me was like posting their books all the time. Like, oh, she's reading, let me pull out a book. Imagine if I would have never posted that. Like, that would have never, like, he would have never weaned his way in with a
Hmm.
book. You know what I mean? If I would have just like stayed slightly private or not entertained the comment, honestly, that eventually led to us talking. Like how they'll like use bits and pieces of social media to like try to force a connection. Like, oh, she like books. Let me get on my book wave too. Or oh, she do ballet. Like let me act like I got some knowledge about ballet. You know what I mean? Like, life be life in.
Yeah, but um, to wrap all that conversation up, I do think sometimes you are just blinded when you're in relationships because you do want to see the best in someone. You want
You
things to work,
do.
and you have to work through stuff with people to have a
I think
relationship.
that's what our generation fails to realize. I think like majority of us when something goes wrong, it's like, oh my God, we're not going to work. We're not meant to be together. It's like, oh my God, we're not going to work. We're not meant to be together. This isn't going to last. Like, I got to go. We're just not compatible. But it's like, shit happens. Like, it's not the end of the world. You talk about it, you move on. But again, they can't talk about something if they're not in tune with their emotions and they can't be
Yes.
vulnerable or they're not willing to be vulnerable. So it's like, it's just a repetitive cycle of like, oh, I gotta go because it's not working. I feel like people want to be in the honeymoon phase the entire time. That can't be realistic because we're growing. We're naturally evolving
Yeah.
constantly. And I feel like that's when the downfall hits. Like I am not the same person that I was when I started dating him 2 years ago. Granted, argument was you changed a year ago. A year ago I experienced a really tragic incident where I was assaulted and all these issues just spiraled from that assault, right? Had a brain contusion, a concussion, like that TBI led to other issues later on down the road that changed my way of thinking and just everything. Mel, you are breathing in this.
I get I'm sorry. I get really into what you're saying. Like I be tuned in. Sorry. I gotta learn to put the mic down. Stop. I really be into what you're saying.
I can tell you, be like,
Girl, I'll be listening hard.
but no, yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're changing. We're
But
changing. They're changing, and it's sad when one person does the work to get the help because then you know it's gonna fall apart. Because and I know my therapist reminded me too. She was like, you both have to be willing to do the work because it started as a trauma bond. We unconsciously pick our partners, and like I'm like, oh, I believe it because when in my previous relationship, it was a lot of hot and cold, right? My mother was always hot and cold with me. I would look and read the room of what type of mood she was in when she got off work. When he came through this door, I would look and read the room and try to figure out what type of mood he was in when he got off of work. Like, if he left me and went and hung out with his friends, I would be paranoid, like, oh my God, what if he finds somebody else and doesn't come back? When my dad, sorry, my dog is shaking the camera.
I
Sandman,
said, why is it an earthquake
my dog. He's shaking the
happening?
table. When my dad would be like, "Oh, I'm coming over today," but didn't come over for days later, I'm like, "Oh, he abandoned me." Or when my mother would have like a previous relationship and then would separate and those men would not come back and it was like, "We don't talk to them anymore." Like that essentially was a father figure at that moment in my life. It was like they abandoned me. So I had all these issues and like all these fears. And I feel like my previous partner, when things would be done, it was like, oh, this is like me reliving my past. This is my inner child. Like it would be like my 6 year old self would be crying in the room because I'm like paranoid that I'm gonna get left today, or I'm paranoid that they're gonna come home angry with me, or paranoid that they're not gonna love me anymore because my wounds were just that deep. You know what I mean? Like it is just so crazy how it all ties into our childhood. But yeah,
Yes. But side note, that's why I feel like I'm quick to leave because I don't agree with the keep. I'm giving them chance after chance after chance after chance. I don't, because if you're not actively working, if I keep saying the same thing to you and you are doing absolutely zero to change, and it's been a year and you've done 0.5% change, that's a problem for me. I don't care who you are. You like how you quick to cut off family members. I'm quick to cut somebody else off, because at that point, you actually, why are you in my life? Literally, why are you in my life if you're not trying to change? And like, I tell you, and this is the thing, when you have a conversation, they agree with you, there's no disagreement. They understand what you're saying, and they actively don't get out my face. Oh no, but you got to go. I can't. Like, that's some real stuff to like keep stressing me out. I keep telling you this is how this is making me feel. You agree on how to change and work together. Then they just don't hold up their side. You
Yeah.
disrespected me. I don't know. I'm really big on that. In which I'm like, it might be a while for me being single. Like,
And I
cause
think it's
I
hard
just,
too because we have to also remember like there is no perfect person. And I feel like that's the shitty part of it
yes.
all. Like we have to pick someone to go through life with.
But so, you can actively start working. It really hurts my feelings. And
You're gonna try
I
and
am
change.
in love with that person. I want to be with this person the rest of my life. I am really going to work at it. And if I'm not there, I'm going to acknowledge I'm still working on it. Like, I'm going to literally be talking about it. There are men who will not even bring it up again because they don't even want to acknowledge that they haven't worked on it. They're not even going to say they're trying because they don't want to change at the end of the day. If someone's going to
Okay,
change, they're going to
so
do it.
here's what this made me think about. I have dated I've dated obviously in my years, and there is one person in particular that I can remember, and that person was just all around horrible. If I can be honest, like they were horrible. And I remember one thing in particular he would say it was like that he was going to change, and he was actively like in therapy. He was had like a lot of trauma, depression, like a lot. But I remember when he was like, I don't know how to change. Like, I cannot change for you because I don't know how to change. And I wasn't asking him to change for me, but there was just some things that would not fly with me, like relationship wise. And I remember when he was like, I told my therapist, like, I don't know how to change. Like, I don't know what to do to start the change. And so, and I'll never forget that because I'm like, what does he mean he can't change? Like, what do you mean you don't know where to begin? Like, what are you talking about? And I remember I was scrolling on TikTok not that long ago, and it was a video. It was like some people really want to change, but they don't know how to change, and they can't change because they're staying in the same environment where change is not accepted. And I'm like, that is so him because even though he'd be like, I'm trying to work on myself, I'm trying to do this, he was still sitting around with the poison, the same bad influences, the same substances, the same people. Like it just was, it was there, and it was like change can't take place until you leave. Like, he would need to go away. And I think about that all the time because I'm like, I know probably deep down inside, he probably really did want to change. He probably really did want something better, but he didn't have the mental capacity to be like, I got to get out of here in order to get this transition started in my life, which is
He knew
unfortunate.
enough to
He did.
acknowledge that he
He
didn't
did
know how to. That's
on
a
his
big,
own too, and I did not expect
but
that from
that's
him.
big. I
It
respect
is.
that over someone just not acknowledging that they didn't reach where they
Side
need
note
to.
for the listeners, this is not the same previous partner. My previous partner
Yeah.
felt like
Yeah.
nothing was
This
wrong with
man,
him. He was perfect. I like he nothing thought he had no trauma. Like anyway, side note. I'm healing and happy.
the comparing the two with the person that knew they needed help but didn't know how, and then the person
Yeah.
not thinking they had nothing wrong with them, that's a big difference. I'm more willing to work with the person that is know they need to change. That's a big deal
Yeah.
to know you need to change. And it would have got to the point with me, this is how I operate. It would have been, you're going to have to change your environment and your friends because your friends keep doing this loop and you keep ending up doing the same thing, and you're going to have to eventually leave. Now, if they don't start easing into leaving and figuring out a process to
Yeah.
leave and get it together, that's when it's like I gotta bounce. And we can revisit later when you heal. It's actually nothing wrong with coming back later if you end on good terms. Like I see nothing wrong with saying I really am fixing myself. I can't do this right now. When I was messing with man, the short man,
Okay.
I was genuinely in the peak of working on myself. Like it was exhausting to try and engage with someone, and all they wanted to do was hang out with me, and it was like I don't know how to end this, but I need to do this for myself. Like it's nothing wrong with healing and then coming back later to someone like let me breathe and get where I need to go. And that's what like I just feel like I haven't met anyone with like that got sense to say something like that, you know?
Yeah.
They always just start
I and
acting
I
crazy.
Yeah, I
Like
was
they
about to say.
start
I feel
being
like I
different.
could be the getting crazy, like, especially when I love someone and want it to work so bad. Like, it is so quick for, I like, because I think it triggers my
Yes.
wound of me being
Yes.
like, oh my God, now what is wrong with me? You're going to leave and you're just going to go do it with somebody else. You know what I mean? And it's like, why do they get all of the effort, all of the time, like everything I've asked you to do, but you can't do it for me? Like, what is it that makes you feel like, oh, I can't do this for me? You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think it's just a tricky game that we
Hmm.
play when it comes to love. And I do feel like with this generation, everything is a game, right? Nobody is like dating intentionally. It's like, oh, I gotta fall back a little bit so he'll chase me. And he's like, the guy's like, oh, I gotta fall back a little bit so she'll chase me.
I think we have both occurred think occurred encountered partners like your the previous one and my tall guy. I feel like they really have up life circumstances, and he's another one that I went back to constantly because I saw something like I'm like you got dealt a shitty hand like you did, and I'm
Yeah,
like push through, and it's like no,
that's
they
me.
just
Yes.
they go back, but it's also a great distance between us. Like, I'm not even going to pretend like we're dating because you need to get yourself together. I'm not even going to let you get that close to me. Like, we can go chit chat and do this and that or whatever, maybe even go on a date or two, but I'm not going to text and call you every day and make you think we're in a relationship because there is something you really need to work out. But yes, it is you can end up with a soft spot for someone, but it is important to set the boundaries up because you're going to end up hurt in the long run if you just try to ignore. You just can't ignore. That's at the end of
Yeah.
the day when you start ignoring things, it's not a good day. Like I'm a big believer in confronting everything. I just am, and I need my partner to acknowledge. We either have to agree to disagree, and we're gonna talk about why
Yeah.
you disagree. That's how it's going. I'm telling you now,
And I
and that's
do
the
feel
only
like there
way.
has to be boundaries set. I know for me, like my previous partner, that was one of the first men I've ever walked away from. And I have dated in life, and I've never walked away from a man. That was one of the first men I've ever been like, I cannot love you. You are going to hurt me if I stay with you. Like, and I just had to have that honest conversation with him. And was it hard? Yes. Did we keep in contact? Yes. Did we keep going back to each other?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because
I know.
I was
I
like,
was in the trenches. I loved him though. He
was
was
not a
cool. Like
fan,
I
by the way, you guys. Was not a fan. Was not a fan. Wasn't it?
he
Needed
called me
lots
like
of
2 years
growth.
later too. 2 years later he was
Lots of
still calling
growth.
me. I don't know.
No growth.
It was hard to walk away. It was hard to walk
No,
away.
no, I
It was
get it. I.
hard. It was hard.
It's just
But
it's a
it had to be
boundary.
done. And I'm thankful that I walked away. But now when I think about things, I wish I would have walked away and just took some time for myself. I walked away and then started dating my previous partner, what, like 3 months later, 4 months later?
It just was like I just feel like you deserve someone that's so hardworking. Like who, like you can see stuff on, and I know you're not supposed to look at social media, but I'm telling you, I know some people on that thing have real relationships, and like a handyman that will go do something like you say you want something, that man will go build that shit without you knowing and surprise you one day out of the week. You know, like I think you deserve a love like that. Like that's all I would ever want for my friends. Like I know sometimes I could be negative Nancy with people, men, but I'm just like, we've had a hard life. We are not killing,
We
still
did.
raise these men. We are not raising men
It did.
anymore. Like I just cannot. I'm like I look at my friend. I'm like you so hard working, work with them every day.
It no, but in the beginning we started out doing a lot of things, but it slowly became sitting in the house.
Yeah, it is kind of a ick when your man isn't a driver. It really
And I was just
is.
off.
Not to make gender roles a thing, but the man just need to you I need to be a passenger princess
Why
for
am I
real.
driving us into the city of DC every single time? Why I gotta be the one with the right hand on the steering wheel, the left one is gripping your thigh? Or left hand on the steering wheel, right one is gripping your thigh. Why does it have to be me to grip the thigh? I want my
What?
thigh gripped.
Yeah, cause back me into that parking spot and put your hand on my
But no, like not being able to like, oh, I'm so scared I can't parallel park. Like you gotta be a man. And it's funny because he was like, you never posted pictures of me, but you always post pictures with him. I'm like, I wasn't dating him. We were legit
Yeah,
friends.
cause
Like I didn't give a
now I
damn
can't
that
be
we were
posting
posting.
my
And I didn't post him, so I had nothing to delete. I didn't leave silently. I crashed out, of course, because I didn't want to be left. But I mean, I didn't have anything to delete, no nothing. Like I didn't have to explain it to anybody because nobody really knew we dated. It was very secretive. But I promise you, my next relationship, I will love that person out loud. Like I know better this time around.
really. That's a big
Yeah, because even keeping
statement
it a
for you.
secret, yeah, I will love them out loud because even with my previous relationship, keeping them a secret, nothing changed. It was still the same. I still got cheated on. It was still out there coming into the picture. Like it's no different. So why hide my person?
I believe in like if my partner's in the moment and it's something I want to post, I'm going to post it. That's how I feel. I don't believe in, oh, I can't post because my partner's in it. But I'm also like, I'm not posting my partner every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I'm not either.
and it's a
I don't need the
time.
validation.
Yeah. And I'm not, we not hanging out for 1 month and I'm posting you. Let's be real.
No,
Like,
no, no.
it got to feel right.
Okay. All right, guys. We fell in love for a little bit.
Yeah. 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 We went down memory lane.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is there one thing that you have learned on your journey that has been one of your biggest takeaways for your mental health journey or your just self growth journey that you would like to share with someone? You might have more than one, but just something that has been significant in your journey.
I think that healing is not linear. It is there are gonna be days when
Mm.
you feel amazing, you feel
Are we on a delay?
no, I just was talking and
Oh,
just heard them, and then I was like, "Girl," but no, that healing is not linear. I think there will be days when everything will feel great, you'll feel refreshed, you'll feel renewed, and then maybe the next day or even a few hours later, like you may find yourself overwhelmed with emotions or crying about things that you thought you healed from. And healing is an ongoing process. Like it's never going to be a one and done, right? You're going to have to keep working at healing those wounds and those issues and that trauma from the past. And so I think just keeping that in mind, it keeps my expectations realistic. Because I used to think, like, oh, I healed, I'm over it, whatever, I'm going on with my life. And then a few weeks later or a few months later, the same issues resurface. And I'm like, but I thought I was healed. And now just having that understanding um, that things may arise again, but it's making sure that I have the skill sets and the coping mechanisms that I need to work through these things. Mel, get it together.
girl, because that's some real shit.
It is. It really
Facts. No, like,
is.
and it's like, no, you have to believe it. Like,
You do.
sometimes it gets to the point where you're like, fuck this shit. I did this work and it's not
Okay, sorry.
working. And then you want to like lose your mind all over again. But then you snap back too.
Yeah, I
And
crashed
you,
out this morning. I definitely cried this
yeah,
morning.
but you snap back too and you,
I'm officially missing
all I hear
you.
is
Girl, I was sitting
raindrops.
on my couch like, why?
But that's some real shit you said. No, for real. Because you really do get to a point where you're like, why am I doing this? The world starts crashing down. Literally, the world, another episode, starts
Hello.
crashing down, and you feel suffocated almost. And you're like, what was the point of me learning all this? What was the point of me learning all these mechanisms? But then you know, you got to stick with it. It will
You
come
do.
back around. It's a cycle. Life
You
is a
do.
cycle.
It
The
is.
circle of life.
The circle of life. The thing about it is though, you got to learn your lesson or you're going to keep reliving it. And
That's
like
true.
for me, I feel like I have not learned my lesson, which is why I keep reliving these same cycles. I think I've learned it now. I really
Yeah.
do. I think I'm better now. Um but Yes,
Yes.
God has a funny way of
I
presenting these things to you over and over and over again until you learn. You want a family.
Yeah, and I'm not kidding. Like, I know you. You're my best friend for years. I am like, she wants this family so bad that she will overlook things. But, and not even that, but when someone's in your space and you get used to hanging with them every day, you just want to hang with them every day. You
It's
don't,
like a drug. Like I am in withdrawals right now because me and my
yes.
previous partner were like around each other all the
Yeah.
time, together all the time. And so now it's like that high that I got off of being around him,
Hmm.
I don't have it. So
Yeah.
I'm like fighting and in rehab, essentially working on myself, healing to try to get back to what I used to know because sorry, my dog.
Yeah. Cause,
Because it is so hard to transition back to being alone, right? The fear of being lonely. And at first it was fearful and the silence is very loud. It's like deafening loud in here, but I mean, you get used to it after a while. I feel like I turn on music, I read a book, I turn on TV, but yeah, it's like being addicted to a drug. Feel about healing. What do you think?
um, my biggest takeaways, I would say, is that how we were talking about things come back, you heal something, something else arises. So that is a thing. And I always also will say my big thing is to literally talk about it.
Mm, yeah.
Because chances are someone relates exactly to how you feel, or and people say things that click that be like, "Ah, yeah, like why didn't I think about that?" And it helps your healing journey just talking or journaling. But I do think talking to a an actual person, whether it's a therapist or a really close friend, or sometimes I meet people at work and it's like you connect, you have, you know where you're at, and you say something and you kind of give them a look and you're like, you think how I think. It's weird. But I would definitely say talking about it has helped me a lot too. So those have been my takeaways from my little journey I've been on, my year-long journey. Like officially a year.
Wait, let me get the sounds. It's been a year.
It's getting sticky.
Okay. Okay. No, and healing is a forever journey. It'll never be like a time period. Like we will be doing the work for the rest of our lives. And that's okay because when we have children or like as for me, I have a child, she won't have as much work to do, right? And prayerfully, like her life will be a little bit easier than mine and she won't have those same experiences as I did. And
It's
even
already
when
light years ahead of us.
yes, she really is. Like she on a little pedestal right now. I'm gonna try and keep her on one.
Yes, we hope you took some information away.
Yes, I'm excited. Wait
Okay.
till y'all gonna ride with us. Eventually we'll have like real cameras and
Yeah,
all that good
sorry.
jazz.
Sorry about my
It's a
camera
little
quality.
bootleg right now, but it's good
Yours
though.
is fine. Mine is literally,
It's valid.
I'm on what did we use back in the day? Is it Uvu? What was it?
Zoom. Oh, Uvu. It was Uvu.
Girl,
Oh, oh,
girl,
O
it's
U O
given,
O or something.
yeah, it's given Uvu. Whatever it was back in
I
the day.
haven't seen that site in a long time.
Everyone was posting on Facebook when they would be,
Screenshotting it
yes, like why was everyone having
just on
conversations on
Uvu for no reason.
it? Yeah.
But guys, if you're on a healing journey, drop it in the comments. Let us know. We'd love to hear because this is a safe space. So, like anything you want to share, share it out. Non-judgmental zone.
Yeah, y'all heard us. We crazy.
Y'all ain't heard crazy yet. I can't wait to tell some stories about when I get crazy.
This is true. Okay,
All right,
signing
we are signing
off.
off, but the
Chaos
chaos
continues.